with 10-year validity. The statement adds that applications by Nigerians in the diaspora remain unchanged at $150 for the 30-page with 10-year validity. Meanwhile, Nigeria is closing the loop in its cyberspace with the inauguration of a forum by the National Cyber Security Center under the Office of the National Security Advisor, charged with equipping industry players with protecting Nigeria's critical national information infrastructure. Defense correspondent Najatu Tijani reports.
Nigeria's cyber threat landscape, a report presented in 2022, shows trends in the country's cyberspace. Phishing attacks on SMEs increased by 87%, while 71% of Nigerian firms were hit with ransomware in 2021. All this is now changing with the official inauguration of a forum charged with protecting Nigeria's critical national information infrastructure under the Office of the National Security Advisor.
This journey of protecting our critical national information infrastructure has been long. It has been deliberate and strategic. From the Cybercrime Act of 2015 to the National Cybersecurity Policies 2015-2021, and of course to the recent executive order that brought us all here today that was approved by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR. This progress is a testament to the visionary leadership of the President, the unwavering dedication of the NSA, and our collective commitment to building a secure and resilient cyberspace.
Key frameworks and tools these stakeholders from across various sectors will be equipped with for the task ahead include information sharing protocols and the National Cyber Risk Assessment Framework, among others. The forum also provides an avenue for working with reports like Nigeria's cyber threat landscape, which will offer valuable insight into countering cyber attacks and protecting Nigeria's critical information online or offline. Najatu Tijani, NTA News.
And back home in Edo State, the special squad set up by the Edo State government to tackle courtesy and court-related crimes in the state has been marching with action to see an end to the menace of courtesy and associated crimes. Goodluck Enaini has been following the development. He brings us this report on some recent success in the war against courtesy and kidnapping in the states.
With a population of over 4 million people, blessed with great potential for economic prosperity, Edo State has all it takes to stand out among its peers. This glorious future is, however, being threatened by the growing trend of cult-related activities now becoming a way of life within certain age brackets, a situation many refer to as a time bomb awaiting explosion. Government, in response to this scenario, put in place a special squad which has helped to effect several arrests across the state with appropriate sanctions, including demolition of properties in line with the anti-kidnapping and anti-cultism law of the state. During a recent coordinated operation, the squad stormed a building in Egbai and uncovered a secluded shrine at the rear of the premises. Inside the building, the operatives found a white casket and fetish items believed to have been used for initiation rituals and other clandestine activities before it was sealed by the operatives. Similarly, at a Boyari community in Hunde local government area, the operative discovered that there was a deadly clash between the confraternities, the Aye and the Mafite, which allegedly led to the death of one Festus, whose death was allegedly masterminded by Mafite leader one Felix Aigbodian, now declared wanted.
Only left our symbols and dropped an invitation letter right there so that the Felix would produce himself to the police.
Boyari community was in desolation at the time the operatives arrived. Homes, vehicles, and personal properties all bore the marks of destruction. Expended cartridges littered the ground, a grim evidence of an alleged crossfire that may have terrorized residents, forcing families to flee. 2 locally made firearms were recovered from a poultry house, which investigations identified as a makeshift armory for cultists. Meanwhile, the building in Egbai, Upper Siloko in Ego local government housing the shrine allegedly belonging to one Marvelous Adetarami, a suspected leader of the Mafite court group, has been demolished in line with the state government's directive.
He forcefully initiated somebody, which money was transferred to him. Everything was confirmed. Then he was, I think, invited by the police to come around. Instead of coming around, he felt maybe he was above the law. At night, he will come here with his people because they said they do other ritual activities. The other day we saw coffin, and what we saw in the coffin, we don't know if it's human or whatsoever, but we saw something like human. And from all those acts, we felt that this place is not conducive for living.
The residents of Egbai, who had reportedly lived in fear for months, speaking off camera, welcomed the demolition, describing it as a major relief to the community.
And now, a tragic incident was averted today at the wreck-by axis of the Benin-Auchi Expressway by youth and other members of the community who came out to put out the fire that engulfed a truck conveying 33,000 of liters of fuel. Sylvester Mokwede reports that youth in the area put off the fire with water and detergent. The driver, who could not speak on camera, said he noticed fire from the bonnet of the truck. It was already engulfed by the fire, which he blamed on electrical malfunction. It added that the truck was coming from Port Harcourt to Uromi in eastern northeast local government area of Edo State before the incident occurred. Some eyewitnesses thanked the youths for their prompt response.
As carry the whole super again, can't they give her? They pass on, they give her, can't they shout? 9 boys, they can't run come. When they come up and quench the fire.
Rescue this motor, we they cover up, we say by the ball. Driver they throw something, motorbike they throw something, they won't rescue the fire. Now we come, we can't go carry can. Tell mama where they this house, where this place, mama they give us Omo. We can't use Omo and everything. Because the soccer won't take part, won't take quench this thing.
Away from that story, the Oba of Benin, Ewa II, has suspended 2 chiefs for alleged dereliction of traditional duties assigned to them in Oba's palace. Statement signed by Secretary Benin Traditional Council, Frank Irabo, identified the suspended chiefs as John Igeho, the Izuwaku of Benin, and Aimokponwayaku Ogogo. The statement advised the general public to be wary of the aforementioned chiefs who are no longer functioning in the palace. The statement also adds that the suspension is as a result of other long absence from the palace, resulting in their failure to carry out their responsibilities in the palace. And talking digital economy and e-governance, efforts to diversify the Nigerian economy are gaining traction with the gathering of industry experts to validate the national digital economy and e-governance bill in Abuja. Ayodeji Makinde reports that this bill is set to improve digital literacy and governance in the country.
The fast rising influence of digital economy in national and cross-border interactions has prompted this convergence of the Federal Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy alongside stakeholders to engage in smoothing rough edges and produce a guideline for this booming sector in Nigeria.
By in Q1 2025, the digital economy contributed approximately 7 billion naira to our real GDP, accounting for 14.19%.
So when we have policies, they are just statements of intent. We want to do this, we want to achieve this. The strategy is how to do it. But law is more compelling than policies.
This framework which boldens Nigeria's digital identity, creates frontiers for emergence of more unicorns, startups, and simplified governance at all levels, signaling a departure from paper-based platforms to electronic formats.
It's a modern bill, it's a forward-looking bill, and the bill has addressed taking care of things that the gaps that exist and the futuristic things that the government needs to drive an all-purpose digital government.
The outcome from this engagement will be presented to the National Assembly for consideration as an act of parliament. In Abuja, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
In a related development, the educational system in Nigeria is currently experiencing digital innovation with the introduction of artificial intelligence that offers numerous benefits and addresses global challenges. Emmanuel Odogu takes a look at its effects on the educational system.
Artificial intelligence, AI, is being regarded as one of the world's accepted technological inventions that many make use of in their various fields and work. Since its inception, students and teachers alike are said to be deploying its usage in carrying out their tasks in their academic pursuit. These respondents believe that it has positive effects on the educational system and has been helpful in gaining access to more learning materials, more practical knowledge.
With AI, you can generate any information needed. So I think with the speed of the AI, you can have a lot of information. And the AI has also helped a lot of students to be able to carry out some academic assignments or work in their fields. But however, it needs to be regulated.
It easily gives you what you want, rather than going on Google and be typing too much. Once you just type a little thing, they give you the answer you want and bring more options for you. So it makes it easier.
Others argue that the innovation has negative effects on the educational system, as students now rely solely on AI, thereby promoting indolence.
It will give us what we call intellectual deficits. Intellectual deficits. Our young ones no longer learn. They no longer internalize the training, because they will be dependent on these machines. And dependency is dangerous. The young man cannot even reason except he look at the computer. He can't even talk before he look at the computer. Is that good for us? These are dangerous times, and I fear and I pray that it's not a design by those who want to keep Africa perpetual servitude. To keep on perpetual servitude, that will no longer reason. Can't no longer reason our own. We just have to reason by the way they reason.
Although the use of AI, experts say it's not a bad idea, but depending totally on it is what they say must be discouraged. In Benin, Emmanuel Odogun, NTA News.
And on a sad note, the remains of late Mr. Charles Imweba, a private security guard at the NTA Benin transmission station, have been laid to rest in his hometown, Agenibode, Isako East local government area. Victor Tioacha reports that the funeral service held at his family's compound in the community.
The body of late Mr. Charles Imoebi Omegba arrived his hometown in Agenibode, Isako East local government area of Edo State, where it was prepared for the funeral service.
Only one that appoint time and season. So when it is God's time and season, we are helpless about it. Human life contains a mixture of joy, sorrow, pleasure, and pain.
The remains of late Mr. Charles Imoebi Omegba was later taken to the Sacred Heart Catholic Cemetery in the community, where Reverend Father Callistus Oga prayed for the body before it was committed to Mother Earth. The daughter of the deceased, Cynthia Omegba, and other members of the family described him as a very liberal and dedicated man who lived for God and humanity.
This is cool. We all talk, we all laugh. I remember back then when I would come from school, they would call me, Cynthia, welcome, give me food, bathe me, and ask me to rest before doing my assignment. I'll miss everything about him.
So caring, he was a caring person. He's this kind of free-minded human being that when you hurt him, you experience his feeling at that moment.
He doesn't know how to keep mileage. He doesn't know how to, even if he's going to fight you, he's going to fight and settle with you and end it all.
Such a kind person. He was generous. We lived together with my senior brother, and the way he took me, he was so understandable.
he loves all his cousin equally. In fact, I miss that liveliness of his.
And he was someone that doesn't take nonsense. He stands for truth. And he doesn't like to be cheated. Neither does he like to see someone being cheated. He was always there.
There was a brief reception at the family compound where guests were entertained. The Zonal Director of NTA Benin Network Center, Mrs. Teni Ajayi, who was represented by the officer in charge of NTO Zare, Mrs. Nana Okekere, described the deceased as a committed and dedicated staff.
On behalf of the Zonal Director, Mrs. Teni Ajayi, and the management of NTA Benin Network Center, I pray that God grant the family the resources to bear the loss, and may his soul rest in peace.
He relaxes it with me anytime he's coming from work, and if he's going, he's somebody who's lively, very lively boy.
Late Mr. Charles Imoebe Omegba died at the age of 61 in Agenebode. Victor Odion Acha, NTA News.
May the soul of Mr. Charles Imoebe rest in perfect peace, and that completes our package for tonight. We'll have a pleasant night rest. Good night from us.
The traffic never jams, don't cost much to buy some yams, and the